Hello, my name is Ola, and I'm going to react to Batman Mask of the Phantasm by Nostalgia Critic. This was recommended to me by American Nerd 1776 and Paul Westerfield, featuring Paul K. I think that's how I pronounce it. This was all in, of course, in honor of Kevin Conroy, who's just like the best, voice actor for Batman, or just the best version of Batman ever. Just like every time that I see like an animated version of Batman, I'm just expecting to hear Kevin Conroy's voice. Most of the time I do. Of course, sometimes I don't. Of course, it would be awesome if Kevin Conroy just like voiced like every animated adaptation of Batman. Of course, understand sometimes he doesn't. And of course now it's like, what the hell they're gonna do now? Like, because I mean, I have heard him being voiced by some other voice actors, and they're great, but of course they'll never measure up to Kevin Conroy's level, and honestly, Batman Mask of Phantasm, I remember a little bit of it. I didn't. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I really need to rewatch it at some point. I probably will later on. But like, yeah, I think this was the first animated. This is first animated movie of Batman, and it's pretty much in the story of the Batman animated series. Yeah, let's check this out. See what Nostalgia Critic thinks about it. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Here we go.
This episode brought to you by DoorDash, the app that brings you food you're craving right now, right to your door. Also brought to you by Chime, the award-winning app and debit card that can save you money today.
Oh man, this in the intro, no! Whoa, what the hell? There you go.
We have sandbags?
It is I, the Phantasm of the studio.
Aw, man, I thought we sprayed for these.
I have come to make the rest of Dark Knight Month a living hell. Soon you will know the meaning of the word pain, for I am going to ruin this review.
No, it's cool. I'm pretty good at doing that on my own.
I'll be lurking in the shadows, stalking your every move, and no matter how hard you try, you will never figure out who I am.
Tamara?
Malcolm.
This is stupid.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Well, seeing how we're at the end of Dark Knight Month and there's only one theatrical Batman movie left. Okay, two. Hey, I was in that one, isn't that enough? It only makes sense to look over what many consider the most faithful Batman movie, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Based on the hit show Batman the Animated Series, Mask of the Phantasm was released almost 30 years ago, but made very little at the box office, and you can see why. The advertising for it was pretty lame. Just look at this trailer. It's fantastic for a movie released in the 50s.
This Christmas, for the first time, America's most exciting and legendary motion picture hero in an all-new, larger-than-life feature film.
Chills, thrills, text across pictures. Oh, actually, we haven't mastered that yet, but the font is adventurously boring. Yeah, it told us almost nothing about the movie, so nobody saw it. However, not only did a lot of critics seem to like it even more than the live-action Batmans for adults made at the time.
I enjoyed it more than the current Batman adventure that's in theaters. This film, however, is really smart and beautifully drawn and intricately plotted.
The day is coming when adults are realizing that animation is not limited to an entertainment form for children.
Those two know what they're talking about.
I don't like this Joker's voice.
Most of the time.
What?
It's got a reputation as being the Batman movie being the closest to what Batman was, as it was based on arguably the most faithful Batman series. I've talked about how great this movie is in the past, but I've never given a detailed review, and I can't think of a better movie to close out Dark Knight Month with. So let's get started with...
Critic, did you know we have a Phantasm? I thought we sprayed for these.
Oh yeah, just ignore her, she'll go away.
Her? How do you know it's a her?
Are we really doing this?
Hello, boys.
Tamara, have you heard of this mysterious Phantasm?
Why, no, I have not. I best go get this devious deviant.
Godspeed, Tamara. We shouldn't trust anybody.
Dude, we're so close to wrapping up Dark Knight Month.
Okay, but I'm gonna get down to the bottom of who this Phantasm really is. Oh, a sandbag? Why would there be a sandbag in a hallway?
Let's take a look at Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
See.
This intro is pretty fantastic. A lot of CGI in the early 90s doesn't age that well, but with the Art Deco style of the city, this blends pretty great.
Jesus, the music.
The music, by the great Shirley Walker, keeps the tradition that the soundtrack to a Batman movie is always spectacular. Plus, there's a rumor that the Latin in the choir is really just the names of the music team backwards. But everybody knows if you play the music backwards, it's really just a recipe for muffins. In Latin. By the devil. After that epic opening, the movie wastes no time getting started, as Batman, played by Kevin Conroy, stops a gangster named Chucky Saul, played by Dick Miller, from creating counterfeit money. Ha! You should have shot where I was going to be!
Damn!
Still the best Batman.
Chucky Saul.
Saul is approached, though, by the Phantasm, cleverly voiced by Stacy Keach, who also voices Carl Beaumont. This works on a few levels when you realize who the Phantasm is, and yes, we are gonna go into spoilers about who it is because, well, if the friggin' action figure did it, so can we.
Wow.
I should also point out this is Warner Brothers' first animated PG movie, and it earns it. There's not only a decent body count in this, but some of these deaths are impressively violent.
Jesus.
But, you know, Sing 2 has the same rating. What was in Sing 2? I'm sorry, what requires parental guidance in Sing 2? Rude. Rude. This is a guy who gets squashed by a statue in his own grave. But shit, be careful, parents. Rude! The Phantasm decides to better kill Saul. Nope, couldn't make it work. And gets away from Batman just in time. Well, I can't follow that. I'll just call it a day. Councilman Arthur Reed, played by Hart Bochner, thinks Batman killed Saul and tries to get a nationwide manhunt going for him.
A lot of people, including the police I might add, think Batman's as unstable as the crooks he brings in.
He's just doing this so more people will call his girlfriend.
Supergirl.
Later at a party in Wayne Manor, Bruce wines and dines many of his lady friends.
Oh, never say the M word in front of Bruce.
Haven't you ever thought about marriage?
What?
A jilted lover is pissed off that he vanished out of nowhere as Reed takes this opportunity to open up an old wound.
At least since that one girl, Andrea Beaumont. How'd you let her get loose?
Thanks for the handkerchief, Arthur. You know where you can stick it.
Now that was very rude. At least 5 Sing 2s. This really should have been PG-13. In an almost Citizen Kane-style flashback, Bruce remembers when he first met Andrea, played by Dana Delaney, who apparently did such a good job they brought her back to play Lois Lane.
Know who that was? Bruce Wayne.
Who are you talking to?
My mother.
Let me out, she's a psycho, help!
Andrea Beaumont.
That would be messed up.
Bruce Wayne.
I know, the boy billionaire.
But Wayne doesn't have time for love as he's putting his plan into action to stop crime as a vigilante. Give credit too, this is the first Batman movie to focus on him developing his superhero identity, which is an element Christopher Nolan would focus on in the future.
Oh,
There was
cool.
only one thing wrong. They weren't afraid of me. I've got to strike fear in them from the start.
Maybe a Christopher Lambert voice from Mortal Kombat.
There's nothing to stop Gotham tearing itself apart.
Andrea shows up insulted that he didn't call her yet. Yeah, that's fair. I should use that number you didn't give me.
It's been 3 days since we met and still no calls. I figured you must be dead or something.
Delaney really is perfect as the cheerful optimist turned vengeful brooder like out of a gothic 40s film or, yes, a dark comic book. It's a role she honestly already perfected in Tombstone, which came out the same year. In fact, some of the lines are eerily similar.
Miss Hovey's self-defense class for girls. Oh, he laughs. Oh, he's laughing again.
He knocks some sleeves onto her dress as we cut back to the present day where the Phantasm kills another gangster. And as cool as Stacy Keach's voice is, I don't think anyone can make the name Buzz sound scary.
Buzz.
I always want to follow it with
your girlfriend, Wolf.
Dude, why should I have to do that? That's the funniest part in Home Alone, man. Oh, dude. Oh, man, that's so funny. There are a few parts that I do remember. I think it's the first time that he wears the Batman outfit in front of, I can't remember, was it this movie? Or was that the animated series where he first puts on the Batman outfit and you just see Alfred's reaction like, oh, crap. And then I remember the part where the Joker shows up, you know? I think it was in this one, wasn't it? I think so. Those are the two parts that stick out to me the most. Like I said, it's been a long, long time since I've seen this movie. I really need to rewatch it.
Not only is the story very much like a 40s film noir, but the imagery is too. In fact, if you want a cool experience, try watching it in black and white. I know a lot of people are doing that with Fury Road, but I'm telling you, this movie looks pretty amazing with that treatment too.
It's the stinking bat!
Again, Batman is mistaken for the killer, and what a coinky-dink. Andrea happens to be back in town around the same time. She also puts together who Batman is pretty fast.
Bruce?
Well, that's just far-fetched. She clearly needs to be an orphan and just look at him in the face. That I believe. As well drawn as Batman is, usually blending into the shadows, how did nobody notice him here?
Remember this place?
Sure. You...
Yeah, you can clearly see him.
No, don't look at me, just talk louder! He has yet another flashback to when they went to the World's Fair. This might be my favorite setting for the film as it shows the young optimistic hopefulness of the future contrasted later with the dark, corrupt present we eventually get.
At last I meet the elusive Bruce Wayne.
Bruce is introduced to her father, a businessman named Carl who has ties to the mob. Again, since we're going to spoilers, I loved showing this movie to friends and asking if they could guess who this gangster was. Nobody ever gets that it's the Joker, but they're thrilled when it's revealed. Part of what makes that so clever is this guy is shown first and the Joker is shown second. So you know he exists, obviously, but you're not thinking this could be him. If the Joker was revealed earlier, I think people might have figured it out too early. Bruce tries to stop a robbery, but is thrown off when Andrea acts concerned. He questions further if his future of being Hot Dog Man should be a reality.
I can't put myself on the line as long as there's someone waiting for me to come home.
I'm waiting for you to come home, sir. In a pretty emotional scene, Bruce pleads with the grave of his parents to give him a chance at a real life, as he didn't plan on being happy. The lightning strike every time he asks is about as gothic an answer you can get.
I can give money to the city. They can hire more cops.
No!
Please.
No!
Maybe they sent me.
We did not bat before house ask, right?
Bats before
Modern day, another aging gangster named Salvatore, played by Abe Vigoda, is concerned the Batman will get him next.
Is it true?
We have eyewitnesses.
That's just beautiful. Why? I'm too old for this.
He said the same thing when he was forced to do Good Burger.
Pull over. It's not very healthy in here.
No!
Batman puts together that the gangsters the Phantasm is killing are connected, and Alfred can't help but hope maybe after this is all done, he'll reunite with his old flame.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
Don't bring up this morning!
Cut to another flashback where Bruce finally decides to put Batman on hold and follow his heart.
Oh, never mind. I'm no good at this.
Cigarette?
I always felt like you never knew what to do with me because I wasn't in the plan.
I'm changing the plan.
How does Batwoman sound? Oh, I shouldn't have proposed in the same spot Jane Eyre got proposed in. After dropping her off, though, the ring is mailed back with a letter saying forget about her.
Left with Dad. Too young. Need time.
I don't smoke. Being the world's greatest detective, he won't follow this up at all. It's the early years. He's a junior greatest detective. And we're given one of the best Batman costume reveals in any movie.
Yeah.
How good is it? It doesn't even show the costume. It's just
the
Alfred's
Alfred.
reaction
Yep.
with that phenomenal music. And it gives me chills every time. I guess the one thing I haven't talked about that much yet is the mystery. It's not really that hard to figure out. You know it can't be any of the characters from the show. Reed would be too obvious, and the father is introduced too late for that to be a satisfying reveal. So you know it has to be Andrea. Her arriving in town early was a clever decoy, but everything else points to her. It always seemed just a little too obvious, and that can be distracting.
Oh, is Dark Knight Month ruined for you now?
Okay, seriously, why do we have so many sandbags?
I will make you pay forever.
I don't even think that makes sense, Tamara.
Tamara, what makes you say that?
Tamara, come on, the sandbags were embarrassing enough, but this is spectacularly embarrassing.
No, I'm not her at all. In fact, oh, here she comes. I better run, cause she's so strong and she will beat me up.
Yeah, that's right, you better run. It's okay, I got him, Critic, don't worry.
Tamara, there's not enough stop signs to convey what you have to do.
What are you saying with your words? I definitely... He's back! I shall kill him! Ah!
No more.
No! Woo! I just got away from that.
I heard a fight. Was there a fight?
Malcolm, how come you and the Phantasm are never in the same room together?
Oh my god. I never thought about that. Maybe I'm the Phantasm.
I just know I'm not the Phantasm.
Okay, we're taking a break. Believe it or not, the Phantasm is causing some chaos around here.
We should really get on that.
Yes, I'll be watching myself very closely.
That Malcolm's pretty sus, huh?